Okay, here we are with head coach Cam Anderson, Mules, off of a MIAA regular season championship last year. Today's virtual media press day, first annual. I've got some questions for you. What do you feel are your team's strengths heading into this upcoming season?
Well, I think we're athletic. I think maybe perhaps a little bit more athletic than we were a year ago, and I also think we've got some. We're deep. I think we've got a lot of players that early on here will figure into playing time, and I think the big challenge for us is going to be able to try to put the parts together and get the right players in the game and see how it shakes out early in the year.
Okay, talk about some of your biggest concerns heading into the season. Obviously, you lost Alex Mooseman, Sanjay Watts, two tremendous players. Also, another senior in Tremaine Llewellyn, who was a glue guy for you guys and got rebounds and stuff like that. What are some of the things you think your team is to improve on with those losses?
Well, the number one, I think, concern for me is replacing the scoring that we lost with Alex and Sanjay and Tremaine. I mean, if you look at statistically, I think we lost probably 65% of our scoring and 65% of our rebounding. So, having said that, I think that's my biggest concern is can we replace that? I think we can. I think it'll be a little bit different. I'm not sure there'll be one or two dominant scorers. Uh, the point guard position, when you've had a guy like Alex for 2 years who pretty much controlled the game for you, I think that's a concern too, because we have three or four guys who figure into the mix, who've done a really good job here in the first week or two of practice. But we all know doing it in practice, doing it in games is entirely different. So I think those are probably the two biggest concerns I have heading in.
Now, obviously, some of the keys to your success will be how those guys mix and how some of the new guys get into their roles. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, and we have a lot of guys that figure in right now. And again, I think, one of the things about our league now is we play conference games really quick, so we don't have a lot of games to experiment in. Fortunately for us, we've got 6 games before we open our conference schedule, and I think early on there'll be a lot of different combinations as we try to find the right try to find the right mix. And um, I can make an argument for 12 or 13 guys right now that can figure in there. So uh, putting the pieces together, I think, is going to be a big challenge for us. It's different than a year ago when we pretty much had a set lineup. We had 3 or 4 guys we knew were going to start and play quite a few minutes. This team, I think, will be more balanced, and I think they'll be, as I said earlier, I think it'll be deeper.
Okay, talk a little bit about the differences in personnel. You're going to have a different style of play, obviously, this year. Talk a bit about what the type of style you expect to see this year.
Well, I want to continue to try to push the basketball, and we talk about that every year. And I think we did have the ability a year ago to outscore people, and I didn't think we were a very good defensive team. This year's team, um, I think, will be a better defensive team. I'm hopeful that we can kind of go back and play maybe the way we did 2 or 3 years ago, where I think we called it mule ball, where we created some offense off of our defense. Um, I think with again with our athleticism and even though we have 6 or 7 new guys, we still have 9 guys coming back, so we have some good experience. And so the style hopefully will revert back to what we've done in the past, in the '07 team or '06 team, where we can kind of create some offense off of our defense and get some easy baskets. But we're still going to push the ball. We're still going to play aggressive defensively. Um, we're not going to change a whole lot.
You talk a little bit about the success of the teams in the past, the different styles of play. Your team's won MIAA title last year, regional championship game last year. You've been to the Final Four twice in the last 4 years. What would you attribute the success of this program to?
Well, I think it's good players. I think you start with the type of support that you have from our administration, from our school, from our athletic department. Um, I've been very fortunate. I've got great coaching staff that's done a tremendous job of recruiting, and then the players have worked very hard. And You know, one thing we've tried to build over a period of time here as I go into my 9th year is we've tried to be somewhat consistent with our effort and with the way we play, and try not to change things up a whole lot so you have a little bit of carryover from year to year, and I think we've been able to do that.
Okay, last question. What are your overall expectations for this team, style of play, all the types of things, but what are the overall goals you go into with the season?
Well, I think this team is a team that's kind of going to be a work in progress. I feel good about what we've got. I'm sure most coaches do feel good about what they have as we do this video today. But I expect us to continue to improve, and I would not be surprised if early on if things might be a little bit unsettled. As we alluded to earlier in our conversation, that we've got a lot of new guys that are going to fit into the situation, and I just hope that we continue to improve as the year goes on. We play with a great deal of energy and effort. And, things we've done over the past 8 years here, and I just hope that that'll continue. I think we'll get better as the year goes on. I do not know if we won't be a finished product when we tip off in Vegas on November 12th.
Thank you, Coach.